Right, so a couple of people have asked me to do a red veil video, or at least show them what was in the red veil and why I like it so much, which I will do, I'm happy to do, but before I do that, perhaps everyone watches, of which there are many people, of course, perhaps everyone who watches remembers Dark Future and Car Wars. Certainly it was something that I really enjoyed playing when I was tiny, and it was one of the things, along with Hero Quest and Space Crusade, that actually got me playing games anyway. So when I was at Salou with my brother earlier in the year and I saw this, I was very excited. It is the post-apocalyptic vehicle battle game Devil's Run Route 666. It's, you know, it's a car game. It's a car game with guns in a post-apocalyptic wasteland, and it's, you know, it's fun. So I thought I would show people who may not have seen it this. It's been relaunched recently as a sort of secondary Kickstarter thing, which was quite good. It looked quite fun, but I've not really got a lot out of this yet because, I don't know, it was an impulse buy game, and it looked like a lot of fun, and the models were beautiful for it, but the rules, I don't know, was a bit weak, and when I didn't realise at the time, but I bought it just on the cusp of the Kickstarter going live, and the rulebook makes loads of references to the advanced rules and rules that make everything else make sense. It doesn't make a lot of sense when you're reading it for just the small scenario. It seems like it's got a big world, but then absolutely they had like a ton of stuff. Like you could buy loads of different cars and things like that. They just borrow from everything. So there's a Tank Girl car and a Knight Rider one, and you know, if you can think of something in a car and it had maybe guns around it, then it's probably in this game somewhere. There's loads of different stuff in there. It's lots of fun. And so it all hinted at all of this, but then none of the rules supported it because the rulebook is just for the basic game, and the basic game's kind of, I don't know, it was alright, it's sort of bland. The cars didn't match up with the other stuff, so I don't know, the points cost. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's go over this first. Box art, nice. Eye-catching, drawing, well painted. That's a theme throughout all of it. Particularly like that panel there, the fella on the bike. It kind of reminds me of like a Orc war biker and that kind of thing, but he's got a whole Caledonian tartan thing going on alongside an American flag, and then there's a, you know, the Mad Max war rig there, quite obviously, and then, you know, there's some sort of a Kira style haircut going on for this bike riding haircut with the big wheels, and then this is the UK Jaguar thing. I've actually got a badge on a jacket for the I can't remember what they're called, Ruined Britannia or something. Those guys, they're pretty cool. Anyway, the board tile, double-sided. Again, nice artwork. It's really polished. Like all of it, it seemed really, really polished. So I was surprised when I went through it and the game was a little less inspiring. Like I think it's okay, and to be fair, it's probably a lot better than I realised at the time because they didn't have the advanced rules up there, and I understand that those are actually up there now, which, you know, the whole thing makes a lot more sense, and I expect it will be a lot better because of that. So there's a sort of police interceptor car. This, I don't know, it's tough, it's hardy, the model's really nice, really sort of fine cars. I've cleaned these up a bit, I've not done much more to them other than that, but I'm looking forward to painting them. They're really nice models. And that's one you get in the box, and then it's sort of compatriot, which is, I mean, these two are more or less the same. There are no guns on these ones, they're just sort of up-armoured, post-apocalyptic, wasteland-style cars, with people like firing shotgun out of the window and passenger seat. This one's a little bit more different. There's like a sort of little war buggy thing going on. It's got a chain gun business on the top, a little turret. That's fun. And then there's a meaty trike there with a flamethrower on the back, you know, an orc scorcher. They're sort of renegade people. Evil, but, well, misguided, I don't know, not evil. I need a little bit of liquid green stuff on the backpack there for the flame thing. Probably neaten that up quite nicely. And then I have a series of bikers, which I have not pieced together yet. You can see them in there. It's good, as well packaged, there's a lot of different stuff. All these dice are fun as well. So this is something as well that sort of drew me to it. I've not seen them before. I've seen them since before. I didn't realise they existed at the time. D3 dice. It's quite good. They roll a D3. I don't know. It's, you know, it's not too hard to just carve it and round up, is it, for a D6? But there you go. You got them. And, you know, fancy orange D10s, which also I like. The colour scheme is, again, quite nice. There's little tokens here. I forget what they're for. Little acrylic bases for the bikes. Like little flight stands. It's good. this is one of the things that was, it's Tank Girl. I mean, you know, she's not called Tank Girl, she's called something else, and the points seem off. Like, this is like a big cannon. That cannon seems, I mean, you know, just rule theory, I've not really played it too much. And she's got this sort of pistol thing, and then the turret, which does a lot of damage. The thing's really, really fast, and then it's marginally more expensive than this in terms of points values for the game. It seems like this is massively more destructive, massively better equipped than this. This is hardier, it's got more hit points than this tank. I mean, it's not a tank, it's a car with tracked wheels and a turret on top. It's a bit, you know, it's kooky, it's fun. And then Knight Rider, it's another fun car that I got at the same time. A lot of fun to paint up. I don't know, you don't see a lot of stuff in that scale. It's like a 20 mil, I think. So it's big, or small, but big enough to get a lot of the detail on you. So I'm pretty confident I can write, you know, swear words and whatnot along the sides of the car if I want to, and do some pretty fancy colour schemes and some nice sort of blending and things. And to be fair, it's the right sort of size where you can do a lot of lazy washing on it and then still pick it out with a nice bit of layering. So why wouldn't you? Then the cards. The cards are fun. This is another one of those. Yeah, Night Driver, not Knight Rider at all. It's completely different. It's completely different to Knight Rider. It's, you know, Mitchell Buck. And so what happens is that the cars are like equipment that you buy for people, and they have special rules. And you know, it's a good card. It's well printed. The quality of it is really, really good. Again, I'm surprised. I thought the rules would have been much slicker than they were. I don't know. This is one of the most fun mechanics in it. Probably not going to be able to make that out, but the deal is that you've got like a graded boundary for your allies. So this guy here is 15 to 60, which means anybody that has a number that starts 15 or ends between 15 and 60, or starts between 15 and 60, can take part. So here we've got driver Riot Grrl, who is obviously not Tank Girl, someone else perhaps. Will be fine rolling with Mitchell Buck, because 35 to 85, well, 35 is between 15 and 60, you know, so it works, it's good, it's fun. Who was that? Where's she gone? You alright? Everything you need?
I just put my everything away.
Alright, so each car, each pack, so you buy these as like little booster pack things with cars, and they come with the rules, the car, the weaponry that the car has. Like I said, the car itself seems so much more deadly than the out-the-box ones. I don't know, maybe, perhaps it doesn't play like that. Maybe you read the advanced rules and everything becomes a lot clearer. That's one of the other things, because the basic rules are just designed to use these vehicles. This neatly printed rule book, these ones didn't make sense, and so I bought these sort of thinking, you know, it'll work out, it'll be fine. You know, it doesn't really. I haven't been able to play it yet particularly. Although I think the advanced rules are up online now, and I'll check them out after this. I should do some research before I actually do it, before I get down and film it. But this is really just killing time. The teaser before Red Veil, of course, which is what everybody's waiting for. Again, right. So these cards here, heavier duty card than the ones from the actual starter box. But these are pretty. You know, there's a nice quality of finish to these things. I bought this at the at Salute, as I said, but I got a bunch of the I found out later that I got a bunch of the Kickstarter exclusive stuffs in it. So Oh What a Lovely Day is a sort of event card that you can take into your thing that's available in the Kickstarter. It's one of the kind of like a game breaking thing, like they haven't balanced it against everything else. I don't know, lazy. It's you know, fun, but you know, it just seems lazy. And then these coasters as well, aren't they pretty? And they like I said, they've re-released it recently. Yeah, tokens that I have not punched out yet, and I can't remember what they're for. And then there's like a tunnel, an extra tunnel road section in the bottom. And then there's the rules, and it's a nice sort of. There are zombies in this. Yeah, nice sort of just, you know, it's a post-apocalyptic world. They haven't spent too much time, obviously, developing the world in this. Maybe it's all somewhere else. There's enough to get you started. There's sort of like a kind of fun arc thing going on, and targeting system. like as you'd expect. It's like Dark Future. It reads a lot like Dark Future, but no bends. It's a rolling road and it's all straight. I don't know, maybe they're coming out later, or they're in the advanced rules, but that was one of the things that I liked about Dark Future. Basically, I'm looking forward to painting the models, and it's probably a lot more fun than I realised, because, you know, when you start playing these things, it probably gets better. The community is certainly very active, and they're bringing out models all the time like this. There's just so many of these cars, and they fit like little Matchbox size ones anyway, so a bunch of people have done like really fun things online where I think you can even buy like they do a resin cast mod kit for Matchbox sized cars, so you can get like quite a lot of stuff. You kind of want it to be more like an RPG style Car Wars kind of thing going on, like with a team or something, because that's how they pitch it. There's very definitely gangs in this. You know, the police law enforcement type people who have got like a really high score or a really low score. Are they really low or are they really high? They're really low. So the lower the score of that sort of ally score that I mentioned earlier, the lower it is, the more good you are. There's like girls with jetpacks, like flying justice ladies, and like a girl sort of biker gang that are really low scores and really like I think they're called Justice or something. I can't remember. These people here, they've all got their own little icon, and that's them. And then there's the Rule Britannia fellas. There's the Headhunters, who are like a sort of mercenary gang. And then there's someone else, and then there's someone else. I don't know. I didn't pay much attention, but they're kind of cool. So yeah, they're all pitched like gangs. Everyone's got their own sort of like group and posse that they roll with. A lot of pistols. Everyone fires pistols. I don't know where they get the ammunition from. All the machine guns, for that matter. I don't know. Like it's probably a lot of fun, but some of it just didn't seem to hang together that well when we were reading it, and so it sort of deflated me a bit and stopped me playing it when I probably would have done. But they've relaunched it recently. Is the point? There's like another Kickstarter box that has been funded and has gone out and has got different stuff in the starter. All this stuff is similar, and that seems to have done well as well. So maybe there's a whole thing happening. I don't know, but it's so, the car models are so pretty, and I don't know, maybe just go buy Dark Future or get another copy of Car Wars. Didn't they re-release that recently? Car Wars is a lot of fun. Dark Future was a lot of fun too. This looks really nice. Perhaps it will be. I'll do some more work on it, and then, you know, gearing myself up for Red Veil. As oversold it now. What's the point? I mean, you know, it's a really pretty box. There's a lot of fun stuff in it. I'm enjoying working my way through it, but probably won't get around to doing the video now. Who knows? Anyway, I'm rambling a lot. I'll sign off there, perhaps.